guys, and welcome back to Quarry Golf Club. So this is the back nine out here, and if you pay attention to the trees, you will notice that the wind has picked up significantly. If you've watched my previous vlogs, I think you would see that there has been a lot of windy days that I was playing golf, and I think that maybe it's the season, maybe it's the time of the year. So today let's talk a little bit about how I play golf in the wind and my top tips for playing golf in the wind. My number one tip for playing in the wind is to really just trust yourself. If you notice on the previous hole in the approach shot, I actually hit a 7-iron from 113 yards. For comparison, that is normally a pitching wedge distance for me. So even though I was hitting a punch 7-iron, which is equivalent to the distance of an 8-iron for me, that is still a 2-club win. Growing up playing golf in Malaysia, one of the benefits is that we get to golf year-round. We have sunshine all year, and worst to worst, it rains. However, because we are located on the equator, we also do not get much wind. One of my biggest struggles when I came to the US and started playing college golf was I had no idea how to play in the wind. That's why I truly believe the biggest element is trust. Playing in the wind requires you to not trust your instinct, not trust your eyes, and not trust all the practice that you have done visualizing and seeing a certain distance, because when you're playing in the wind, you need to rely on data rather than feel.
Nice.
So what I mean by this is, like I said just now, hitting a 7-iron at 113 yards feels extremely uncomfortable to me because I feel like I am going to blow this way by. Even though I know it is windy, my brain knows that my 7-iron goes about 150 yards carry. So having a distance of 113 yards to the pin and hitting a 7-iron to me feels extremely wrong. This was one of my biggest struggles when I first came because I could not trust it. And when you don't trust your shot, you tend to try to maneuver and manipulate it so that it does what you think it should do rather than just hitting it and trusting that the wind is going to take it. I truly believe that no matter how well you hit it, if you don't have trust, you are not going to play well in the wind. And that is why I think that in the wind, strategy is more important because you need to strategize your way around the golf course, knowing where to miss if you're going to miss it, because playing in the wind, your misses is going to be worse as well. This is not trying to be pessimistic, but this is being realistic because in worse conditions, you are going to have a bigger miss, and that is just natural. And that is why scoring averages are going to go up as well if, for instance, a tournament is played in very windy conditions. This is not to say that you cannot play well. This is just saying that you need to understand that playing in the wind is going to be different, and therefore strategize your way around a golf course in the best possible way so that you can still score, but also so that you can reduce mistakes, because like I just said, the chances of you making mistakes are going to be higher when it's windy. So similar to trusting it, you also need to trust that the wind is going to do what it looks like it's going to do. Therefore, you need to play with the wind and not against it. So for instance, if you are someone that plays a draw and the wind is going right to left, you know that it's going to make your draw maybe twice as wide. So you need to aim twice the amount right that you normally would. Vice versa, if you play a draw and the wind is going left to right, you know that it's probably going to straighten out your shot a little bit more. So therefore, you should aim less towards the right and trust that even though you hit a draw, the wind is going to hold the line a little bit more and you're going to hit it more straight. So trust is important as well, because when you choose these targets, chances are when you stand over the ball, it's going to feel uncomfortable to you because you probably don't feel like you're compensating enough for your draw or for your fade. So similar to trusting that you have the right club in your hand for the distance even though it does not look right to your eye, you also need to trust your swing so that you can choose the right targets and therefore hit it in better areas. And like I just said, plan your way around the golf course well even when it's windy. Another thing that you're going to accept is sometimes the good shots are not going to end up good and it might not be your fault. For instance, on this hole, I hit a good drive, but the wind just really picked up right when I hit it and it had a weird bounce and pushed it to a really odd lie for my second shot. Knowing that the wind is going to make your golf a little bit harder today is going to help get you in the right mindset as well, and we know that mindset is very important because if you're approaching the round already dreading playing in the wind, you're probably not going to play very well because you're also not going to have a lot of fun. Try to make the best out of it, have fun with it, try to play with the wind. If the wind is super strong and you have to aim into the jungle, just do it and see what happens. And honestly, it's so fun to see the ball get blown by the wind anyway. So just trust in yourself and let the wind naturally take the ball. Don't try to force it to go against it. I know another tip that a lot of people always say when you play in the wind is to swing easy when it's breezy. In my personal opinion, it doesn't help me to try and swing softer or slower or however you might want to phrase it. For me, when I'm playing in the wind, I try to maintain as normal of a tempo as I can. Personally, I feel like when I try to swing it smoother, it does not help me at all. In fact, I feel like because it affects my rhythm and my tempo and it's not something that it feels natural to me, I end up hitting worse shots. So this is one of the things that I personally feel helps me to just try and maintain the same tempo even though it's windy. Don't try to hit it harder, but also don't try to hit it softer. Try to swing it as naturally as you can. In terms of swing, the only thing that I would change really if you need to is to just widen your base. Especially for me when putting, I don't really have a very wide stance, so I really have to force myself to feel like I'm taking a little bit of a wider stance. So yeah, I think my biggest struggles in terms of technique, it's sometimes when I'm putting and it's very windy and I'm standing over the ball, is that I feel like I don't have the balance and I feel like my putter is moving a lot because it's being blown by the wind. So the only thing that I really changed technique wise is just widening my base so that I feel more stable in the wind. If you told my teammates that I'm making a video about how to play in the wind, they would probably be laughing because they know how much I struggled playing in the wind when I first got to the US. So I hope some of these tips helped you guys. Honestly, in my opinion, playing in the wind is very beneficial because you really have to trust your shot. And personally, sometimes I feel like I even play better in the wind because I trust my shots more and I have a detailed plan in my head of exactly what I want to do. Having a plan and knowing exactly what you want to do before you hit the shot is very important. Sometimes when the conditions are good, or even when we have a fairway that is very wide, we tend to take these kind of things for granted and we don't choose a specific target. We don't go through our entire process. When conditions are harder, it forces us to think more, to focus more, and that's why I sometimes feel like I hit a lot more quality shots when I'm playing in windy conditions. So I hope this video helps you in some way. If you guys have your own tips for playing in the wind, leave them down below. I would love to read them. As always, thank you for watching another vlog of Golf with Jen, and I hope to see you guys next time.